So we're going to go ahead and try something out today. I wanted to see how the detritus vacuum works from VCA. Here is their product, and they say that it will clean your sump completely. Matter of fact, that is like a beautiful, beautiful before and after picture. So this is the attachment. It fits onto a Maxijet 1200 on that part there. And I've got myself a brand new Maxijet. And I've got myself a 10 micron sock. And I got myself some, which I believe is like 5/8 tubing that I'm planning to use on the power head. And I got myself a cup of hot water. I'm gonna start off by putting the tubing in the hot water to get it to soften up a little bit. I stuck this mug in the microwave for about 3 minutes, and it's just enough to get the water really, really hot so that this is more pliable. And the vacuum is going to connect right onto there. This is 3D printed. So that will let us vacuum. And then you could choose the orientation how you want to operate this. I guess you could choose to go this direction if you had a narrow area. I have a huge dirty section under my protein skimmer. We're going to tackle that. So let's soften up the tubing for a couple more seconds again. All right. And then we'll just press it on. Look at that. We are ready to try it out. And we are going to test it out on this stuff. Now obviously the big white hard calcified tubes are not going to go through the Maxijet at all. But all the detritus, I hope to slurp that all up. And then eventually I got to deal with this mess down in here somehow or other. And I've got more down there that needs to be cleaned out as well. But this is our test area. Alrighty, so I've put in my 10 micron sock right here. And I've inserted the tubing in there that is running to the Maxijet. And now we're going to go ahead and see how this does. So we'll set that down. And hopefully get this on camera. The Maxijet is plugged into a simple power strip, so I can just hit an on-off button. So I've got the tubing coiled on top, and it's going into the sock. I've got my new detritus vacuum ready to go. I'm going to hit that on button. And now the output will be going into the sock. And I'm going to try not to clog this up with big items. But I really think some big stuff's going to get in there and I'll have to take it apart and clean it out. Now what's smart about this vacuum attachment is it's got the little grooves to keep you from creating a total suction against the base of your sump, so it can still draw in water. And it doesn't look like I'm getting too cloudy in here as I'm doing my cleanup. All right, let's hit stop. And we'll take a look and see what's inside the actual, well, hang on. It's drawing some of the detritus. All right. We're going to go ahead and see what's inside the actual Maxijet. So you know when you want to do a demo and everything's perfect, and then you bump a tube? Even though you thought it out, and instead you decide to flood your fish room? That was kind of what just happened now. Nothing the problem with the product, it was completely me. All right, so let's take a look and see what's trapped in here. That's not unexpected. Okay. Ready for more. Now that I've had a chance to try it out and I see what it takes to clog it or unclog it, I decided let me get the protein skimmer completely out of the way, get the skimmer stand out of the way, and let's really clean this zone. Now, I haven't cleaned this area of my sump in probably a year, and I like to do it every few months, and it's one of those things that, as you can see, it's not just a simple, easy solution. There's effort involved, and sometimes I can be a little bit lazy like anyone else. Once I lifted that tray out of the water, wow! Look at all those tube worms on the bottom of the skimmer stand. All right, let's continue. Operation Detritus Removal. And here we go. Since I waited this long, it's probably going to take some time to clean out this entire zone. Over the years, I've tried a lot of different products on the market trying to keep my sump clean, and being able to get something these days that's 3D printed, well, that just screams 2019 at me. I had to take the nozzle off the Maxijet maybe 6 or 8 times total to shake out some of the crud that accumulated in the vacuum section, but it was a very simple task. There's a level of satisfaction that comes from watching this stuff just lift off the base of the sump and pump its way into a filter sock. And the part about it clogging up is actually no big deal at all, because it gets stuck in the nozzle, and on the intake it doesn't actually get into the impeller area of the Maxijet, which is super because you can just quickly take it apart, shake it out, put it back together, restart the pump, and keep going. And I wanted to include that part of taking it apart and cleaning it out repeatedly in this video, just to give you kind of a real-life application of a situation where you're cleaning up a relatively dirty sump. We're not dealing with a little bit of dust. We got a bunch of crud in here, and we got all these hard calcified tube worms that are totally in my way. So I decided, since I'm in here and I'm doing all this work, I'm going to scrape down the sides. I chipped off all of those off the bottom, and I really focused on cleaning up this entire area while I was busy doing all this. And VCA thought I was just going to test out their vacuum, and of course I turned it into a full-fledged project. And look inside the sock at what is captured. Something not readily apparent is that my return pump is actually running right now while I'm cleaning out the sump. So the skimmer is out of my way, obviously, but the water's still flowing from zone to zone. Water's draining in on the far right side of the video there, and it's working its way to the left and into the return zone. If you were trying to clean out your sump and you had this big mess, of course, you could just turn off the return pump, get a shop-vac, and slurp all this out in a matter of, I don't know, 2 minutes. But I am basically recycling the water I have using an attachment that allows me to keep everything running, spend, 15 minutes down here doing this cleanup, and then I'm done. And I didn't have to worry about wasting any water or cleaning out a shop-vac. My biggest task was to take the filter sock outside and blast it clean with a garden hose, which, again, only took a couple of minutes, and then I was able to go ahead and finish up the last of this. Eventually, those little white tubes were getting on my nerves, and I wanted them out of my way, and I grabbed a deli cup and just started scooping and dumping to get all the big crap out of the way so I can vacuum the last of the dust. So that's quite a bit of sludge that was collected, and I actually have to rinse out the sock now because it's trapped so much particulates in this 10 micron sock that it will overflow if I keep running. I want to emphasize that a 10 micron sock is very, very fine. That's basically the same micron as an RO filter. Yet so many people have 100 micron or 200 micron where a cloud would just emanate out of the fabric. This has trapped all the crud inside, and what is coming out is clear water, which is great, and that's what you want. As I wrap this up, this job is nearly completely done for this one part of the sump. I still have the rest to go at some point, but I'm not going to be doing that today. And that is where I'm going to stop. I'm going to go ahead and get my skimmer back in action and get all this removed. But I got to tell you, that was really nice. I didn't waste any water in the process, which, of course, if you were doing a water change, you would just suck out a bunch of water and be done. But I was basically using the water in the system and not lowering my water level. I mean, I might have lost half a gallon because of the filter sock, but that's about it. So if you are looking for a way to vacuum out your sump, I really think you'll like this guy. I also like that this tip is sharp and kind of rigid, to where you can use it to scrape as well as vacuum. So it does both. And now we're going to put my skimmer back in, which I wish was really clean right now, but so be it. It's just going to go in dirty, and I'll just let it work its magic. At least my sump is clean now. And the skimmer is back to life. I want to show you guys this. This is the stuff that I scooped out of the sump. That is a deli container full of tube worms. Look at all those. These have been growing in there and I've been ignoring them. Well, they're out. If your desire is to have a nice clean sump, then having this attachment that you can push onto a Maxijet 1200 is awesome. And I think you'll really appreciate it. And that way you can keep your sump sparkling clean and detritus free.